Welcome to the Lighthouse Podcast. I'm Tristan Moretti, and today I'm with my usuals, Danny and Alex. And today we're going to be talking the three most important parts of networking. Welcome back to the Lighthouse Podcast. Today we're talking about networking. Alex, I know networking is a huge part of why you were able to become a real estate agent. Do you mind telling us more?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are, of course, many aspects of networking, right? And many reasons why every individual in this business should believe that it's the most essential aspect of your business. If you're in business and you're in the service industry and you're not looking to network with other professionals and with people in general, it's my personal belief that you may not go far in life because we need it, right? It's the everyday stuff, right? So, of course, there's some stuff that you can sell and not talk to a person at all, and by all means. But if you're selling a service, chances are you're going to have some sort of interaction, right? So you can let it happen naturally and it may work out for you, but the successful people in the service industry, they understand that networking has to be by design. You have to go looking for it. You have to be aware of your environment and looking to meet with different people that can bring you more knowledge. So I love networking because of the knowledge that I can get from other individuals, right? I'm a firm believer that I can learn a lot in life on my own. Right, I can dedicate myself to watching an hour or two of YouTube videos on a topic that I want. And eventually in 20, 30, 40 days from now, I'm not going to be an expert, but I'm going to have a good general knowledge of what that is, right? Or I can read books, right? And I can read a book about whatever, how your brain operates. And I could be knowledgeable by reading a few books on that matter, right? But the knowledge sharing that comes from being able to be around other people, that's going to shorten the time that's going to take for me to learn, right? Because if I'm with you and you're a real estate agent and you've been doing it for 10 years and I just started today, right? There's way too much knowledge out there that may never apply to me. But I don't know that because you don't know what you don't know. So eventually I'm going to go into the rabbit hole trying to learn all of these things that I may look in hindsight and say, I wasted too much time learning about cold calling or calling expireds. It doesn't fit my personality. I'm not going to be doing any of it. But I spent 36 hours over the course of 2 weeks trying to learn more about it. And then I figured out that it's not for me. But I come to you, Tristan, a real estate agent, 10 years in the business. You've done it all. And I'm going to ask you, dude, what do you think about cold calling? And in 10 or 15, 20 minutes, you may be able to tell me, look, what's your personality like? Are you the one to, how do you handle objections? How do you handle people hanging up on your face? How do you handle people cursing you out before they hang up on your face? Are you cool with that? And if I say, yeah, I'm cool with that, then no problem. Here are two platforms that you can go buy. Pay into those platforms. It comes with a dialer. It comes with people's information. Make sure that you check the do not call list, and then feel free to call everybody. And I'm like, good. I'm going to go to that. I didn't have to go into, a rabbit hole of 40 hours to find out the information that you just gave me in 15, 20 minutes. So that knowledge sharing for me is essential. It can shorten. I no longer need to live a linear life. Right, I can compound and I can shorten the times by talking to different people, right? So to me, that's that. And I'm sure you guys will agree with that, right? You can agree with the same thing, but
100%.
You also, you may have different perspectives, right? So Mr. Daniel Silva.
Yeah. Networking, that's such a good one. I'm so happy that we actually came to, before we start even recording, we're talking about
we had another full episode before this episode.
Yeah, and that was amazing right there. I was like, guys, let's just stop. Let's record this because this is Such good information. And by the way, we're taking time to do this, to create this content, and this is going to be amazing here. Stick around until the end of this episode. But do us a favor, help us grow this channel. Like the button, share this content or the channel with somebody.
So we can get to network with more people.
Yeah, network with more people. Yeah, see, great minds think alike. Anyway, so different perspectives. You said it all right there. Knowledge sharing, that is such a crucial component of one's personal development in their either personal or in their career as well. It's been tremendous for me, networking alongside with social media that gives you access to a lot of people at the same time. You always one person away from 1,000 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you have 1,000 friends, you have 2,000 friends.
I'm older.
That's got more friends than everybody else. That's that. But there's one thing that I firmly believe in, and we were just talking about that. Just try new things. To network that way. We're just talking about golfing, right? That was something that we started to network and meet new people. It turned out that we liked it too much, and all of a sudden we're going golfing by ourselves. Anyway, that's besides the point. But so these are like I truly I abide to this. Like, so if you try new things, right? You try new things, you meet new people. By meeting new people, now there's new ideas, okay? Like you see different perspectives of people from different backgrounds that we're all different, we have different stories and so by doing that, doing new things, that's for a lot of people, it's getting out of their comfort zone, right? Doing new things, you meet new people, now there's new ideas. With new ideas, we are what we think, right? Like you become what you believe in, and that's always start with a thought. So there's new ideas. With new ideas, because you thought of that, now there's going to be actions, right? And then with actions, now there's different results. And that all comes from networking. Einstein really gave us a new one, a lesson on that. It goes back to what I say, like doing new things is like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. That would never happen. So in my case, for example, I've been in real estate for a few years now, but not to give myself a pat on the back, but the numbers and the production is like somebody who's been in the business for like 20 years. And I give a lot of credit to the networking skills that I have that didn't always come as natural to me. To get out there, to spark a conversation, try to listen to someone. It's extremely important. Like a good listener. But anyway, like that's what helped me tremendously in my career. Like meeting new people and learn about their lives and connecting with them. And then connecting with their friends, now in that perspective of seeing like how they think and really like that's what puts you in the map. You know what I mean? But So that's what I got for that. And our next the
host.
So one thing that I wanted to combine both of your subjects and make it into a knowledgeable way of explaining what you guys are saying is that a phrase that I live by is, if you think you're the smartest person in the room, go to another room, because you are never the smartest person in the room. And one thing for my personal growth, and obviously, as you leave adolescence and you become an adult, you realize that truthfully, every single person on the planet has lived a completely different life than you. And
Facts.
The life experience that they bring is always valuable, whether they have $1 in their bank account or whether they're just below Jeff Bezos. They're going to be able to teach you something and give you a different perspective on your life and their life that should always be accounted for. And as we grow as human beings, and the reason I'm bringing networking into this is because relationships are really what bring everything to the next level. You know, realistically, this podcast could just be Chat GPT, but there would be no personality, there would be no emotion, there would be no experience.
No energy.
There would be no energy. Yeah. It would just be, hi, this is the Lighthouse podcast, and what brings networking to the forefront of what makes a good entrepreneur is that you are not only you are your brand and you are your own voice, and this absolutely controls your reputation. And when someone goes, and for example, right, we're all in real estate, so someone goes, you know what, it's time for me to buy a house. They don't think of, okay, first thing I'm going to do is go Google real estate agent. First thing I'm going to go do is look at that thing in the mail that I got, which of course that isn't a bad way of networking and advertising, but realistically they're going to go, who in my head comes up when I'm thinking of real estate?
Yeah.
Oh, my friend. Yeah. My friend Tristan Moretti, he's going to be able to help me out, or at least he'll point me in the right direction of helping me out. Right. So networking for me has really grown me from what I think is a adolescent mindset to a full adult mindset. Now we come to the table, we come prepared, we know all of these different perspectives, we have all of this knowledge that we're not only willing to share, but also receive, and creating that strength in a relationship, creating that bond is what gets our name out there. And people believe in this bond, people are willing to share this bond for you. And now all of a sudden your reputation in the state of Connecticut is
up there.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
That's who I want to use.
And it's so these are great examples for even young adults, right? Looking to get out there on the service field, just graduated from college, you know, and they've been immersed in that life because there's, you know, a lot of classes and a lot to learn and exams and all that. But as soon as you're done with that life and you have to get out and get into the real world, right? I keep saying this all the time. You don't get to make your future. You don't get to design your future. You get to design your habits, and your habits will design your future for you, right? So
Say that again.
Yeah,
for the people in the back.
That was powerful.
Say that again.
You don't get to design your. Actually, I'll look at the camera. You don't get to design your future. You get to design your habits, and then your habits will design your future for you. Tweetable moment.
Drop the mic.
So, with that, anybody looking into starting a new job, whether they're young or not, right? But let's say if we're talking to a younger audience, you just got into the service field and you're ready to go to work. Good networking habits need to be developed now. You can. I say this about real estate agents all the time. You cannot be a great real estate agent and be shy at the same time.
No.
Right? It's especially because our industry is flooded with good agents, right? So you're competing for people's attention all the time. If I want to find a real estate agent, all I have to do is go to a coffee shop, a supermarket checkout line, or any other public place with, 10, 20, 30 people, and I say, I need to sell my house, and watch how many people will run to you saying, I'll list it for you.
I have a license.
Yeah, I'm licensed. There's 1.5 million registered agents with the Realtor Association, which makes them mostly residential agents. But then there's another close to 1.5 million who are not registered with the Realtor Association, and most of them are commercial agents. So basically, 3 million registered agents make it almost 1% of the population.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of licensed people out there, right? So how can we create business for ourselves, or put yourself in any other industry, right? That's a service industry. How do you create business? Can you buy business? Of course, buy leads, build a nice website, do a lot of, boost a lot of posts on social media and all of that. But you always have a cost for that, right? And the cost of networking is basically time. But it's time well spent. It's bonding anyway, right? It's getting to meet new people. And it goes back to the example I gave in the beginning, is one person, like you were one person away from 1,000, but you're also one person away from your life, your life path being completely changed at all, to better.
A breakthrough.
Yeah, you're one person away from a breakthrough. And it could, you never know where it's going to come from. Mm-hmm. Right? That's the beauty of it. It's not going to, it may not, if you're looking to grow and grow financially and you think you need to go to the next step, then chances are your better advice may come from somebody who's already been there, right? So if you're making $500,000 and you want to find out how to get to $1 million, then go talk to real estate. And if you're in the real estate industry, go talk to real estate agents who make $1 million, right? Like, how do you do it? Chances are it's not by adding anything else, it's by removing a few things. Right? Because I constantly look at that, right? It's not only what can I add so I can make more money, it's what can I remove from my day-to-day that will allow me to make more money and have more time and all of that.
What am I efficient at?
Yeah.
What
are my strengths? Yeah.
What is going to make the difference if I really focus on these 2 things versus these 6 things? Yeah. Definitely a very important thing you said right before that too, where one person can be the breakthrough. And this goes for any career. This isn't just real estate. This can go, all the way from finance to hospitality. All the waiters out there, find out what your table does. It doesn't matter if you work 2 steps above McDonald's or if you're working at a 4-figure bill type of restaurant.
In Bridgewater somewhere.
Yeah, in Bridgewater, maybe name the bistro. But you need to find out what your table does, why they do it, do they enjoy it, and why you might excel in what they're doing. Because you never know, you might create a relationship. Just the other day, speaking of the bistro, I was at a gas station. Someone pulls up, they recognize my car. I'm a big car person. And they're like, "You used to work at the bistro. I always saw your car." And just got into...
And I want to buy a house.
Yeah. Just got into conversation.
And you're running low on milk.
Right.
Stalker.
Here's my card. Call me when you need me. Got their number, and hopefully that'll lead to a sale in the future. But they also happen to work in finance, right? And where can they assist me in the financial world? And I don't want to make that sound like I'm using them by any means, but where can they give me a leg up that if I had not made that connection, that I would not have that leg up? And it's as simple as, yeah, this is my car. Then thanks for recognizing me.
Yeah.
You actually took the time to remember me.
Yeah.
And the conversation we had about how BMWs break all the time.
Yeah.
We're all in the people's business.
Always.
Like a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm in the car business." No, you're in the people's business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Restaurants are in the restaurant business. No, you serve people. If there's no people there, there's no business. So become an expert in people.
Yeah.
Like just
work on that habit.
Work on that habit of like knowing how to adjust to certain personalities and whatnot. And be interested, and like I said, like I can't stress this enough, to be a good listener. People want to tell you about them.
Yeah.
A lot of times they don't care about you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at least on that first thing, so listen, maybe like there's something in common there. Everybody's selling, right? Everybody's selling. You're the first thing. Like why? Like you said, in Connecticut, there's 16,000 agents.
22 now.
22,000 agents. Why is somebody going to purchase a home with you, Tristan, or you? And a lot of the times in this, when I'm in a situation where like I'm networking and, like what I do, and it's like it's one of the last things that will come up on conversation. I'm talking about things that we're both interested in.
What do they do? Yeah.
What do they do? Do I relate to any of those things? And So it's so important. It's so important. Like, you never know. Like, like, just spark up a conversation, like, somewhere. Ways of doing, right? Let's talk about that. What are the ways that to network? So collaboration is one of them, right? Like, for example, Byron, he saw you on Zillow.
Yeah.
Was it Zillow?
Yeah.
He reached out. He's he went, got his license. Big shout out to Byron. He's
a superstar.
Superstar,
Yeah.
the guy, but he's a great networker. He came in one day. We barely met the guy. At the end of the day,
put him on a podcast.
He was already doing a podcast with us.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Not forcing anything either. Like, a lot of people's like, oh, this is what I do. So you want to do something. No, like, make sure it floats. It flows in a smooth way. And which, like, in any other ways that you guys could think of which is a good way to network?
So, the way that it usually happens for me is basically organic. And like you said, real estate's like the last thing we bring up. And I am usually, like, I'm just out there, not even just for real estate, but I'm always exploring my options of, like, who knows? Maybe one day I'll get into the vending machine business. Who knows? Where some guy has this vending machine empire and he passes this knowledge down to me. But I think organically, for example, common interests. We talked just before the cameras turned on that I have a possible client that I met anonymously through an app called Discord. And I'm big into cryptocurrency, and we go by all these, like, anonymous names. It's kind of like a silly thing. And then all of a sudden this anonymous guy is in my messages because someone else had happened to know.
He slid in the DM?
He slid into the DMs. He wanted me. And he was like, hey, listen, I'm thinking about moving here. And I'm like, that's hilarious because that's where I'm an agent. So then it went from, what kind of advice could I get? First time home buyer. What do I need to put down? It went from that to, oh, can you, like, look in the area? Can you look in this area, and show me what I need to see? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was so organic. That was something I didn't search for. I didn't pay a dime to do that. And he is in the finance industry, and hopefully, he is going to, the banks are in a little bit of trouble right now, but he is essentially like a hedge fund guy. And there's other ventures that come along with that.
Oh, we got some investment money coming in.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. It
goes back to networking right there. Yeah.
He has a company that's got 7 figures ready to deploy, and because of networking that I do, I know all of these businesses that are asking for 7 figures in order to make what they're doing happen.
9 businesses now, so add 2 more businesses to
it. Listen, I'll get you guys a contact.
Don't forget us.
I think his name was 0x Jimmy.
No, you can be our middleman. Just get us the money.
But so that was one way, is just like pure organic growth. Absolutely, it just happened to go that way. And a lot of someone mentioned earlier about paying. I think it was you paying for leads, and basically that's the cost of what we call customer acquisition. Any company, whether it's Coca-Cola or your dad's shoe shop, is going to have a cost of customer acquisition, whether they're aware of it or not. And one of the biggest goals is to get that as close to $0 as possible. And when we start growing a reputation, the marketing and customer acquisition begins to essentially do itself. So that's another avenue, is where you build a large enough cornerstone and a solid enough cornerstone
brand
where you kind of put in the footwork, and then someone takes the baton from you and starts sprinting for you.
Yeah.
So is there any other avenues that you guys think I've missed?
No, I think this is a good explanation of what it is, right? It's understanding the importance of it all, right? It's being a new agent today, and not wanting to do, we'll always bring it back to real estate because that's what we do. So it's but you can name the service professional, right? So unless you're high demand right now, and you're a one guy shop, one guy plumbing company, and you can't even take any more work, wanting to network to get more business may not be your top priority right now, right? Wanting to do some social media ads or being out there on social media may not be your priority right now, right? Because we don't even have the time for it. But anybody else in a service business not taking advantage of, like, let's say, bringing it back to agents. When I talk to a new agent today and they're reluctant to, like, my first thing is video, right? Mm-hmm. You got to do video every day. And they're reluctant to that. We're like, all right, you got to post on Instagram every day, on whatever social medias you're on. And they're reluctant to that. I can almost tell that if that habit doesn't change, that agent may be squeezed out of this market in the next 5 years. And I'm being nice in saying, I'm being conservative in saying 5 years, because technology has been growing so fast that we don't know what's going to happen in 3 years from now. I mean, 3 years from now, Facebook may not be the biggest social platform in the world because that changes so fast, right? So
a new idea could come up.
We adapt.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a big Facebook guy. I've used it all my life ever since, it was only open to college students at that point, and then they finally opened to us regular people. And then I started using it. I'm on Instagram 4 times as much. So Facebook is not, I'm there, but Facebook is not my priority. Instagram is my priority.
Same company.
Yeah, but you see where
different
exactly,
platform.
Different concept.
They're actually backing away from that.
They are?
Yeah, they're changing back.
So that's what I use to start this networking process with people, right? It's just it's a little bit from here. It's all the phone calls, it's like, I like your point about being on Discord. Mm-hmm. Shy Tristan, who never talked, only listened, would not have been able to make that contact. Mm-mm. So you actually had to speak and provide some value to that conversation. Because if you spoke and you said nothing that made sense, people wouldn't give you the time of day either.
Exactly. It never would have been messaged. Like, this guy's crazy. Yeah.
But you spoke, you understood whatever the topic was, you had your 2 cents to give on it. You were able to carry that conversation, and then you finished that conversation that had nothing to do with selling the house. But then somebody came in and say, hey, I noticed that you mentioned that you do real estate, and great points you made there. But more importantly, my family is growing. I'm looking to move from one state into your state, and I'd like to buy a house. Can we stay in touch? Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of it.
That's the beauty of it. And it was smooth transition from where you guys were, because you were there, because you put yourself in that, and you just came. It was, and I'll give you a good example here. The majority of the times when you go to like an event, and you go like see somebody speak or somebody's doing a presentation, just make sure that you're there for the people who are there, not for the main speaker. Like, I barely ever like listen to like all the points that the person is saying. I'm there like, hey man, what do you do? Oh yeah, oh great. Oh, how long you been doing it? Blah blah blah. Oh, hey, the next person, I'm gonna go get a water. You want one? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, this is that's what is gonna take you to the next level. Because if you just pay attention to the main speaker, you're probably not gonna get to know the person. But if you come out of there with 3 phone numbers, now that's networking. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's a good a way to do it. I'm always, like we have an event to go to in May now for EXP. And I'm there to, meet people, especially with us.
Like speed networking is just, there's 5,000 people here. How many of these 5,000 people can we talk to?
Yeah. This event is going to take place in Florida. It's in Orlando, Florida, and the Lighthouse team is actually getting into the Florida market. Just anybody out there, just want to let you know we're getting our license down there. If anybody is looking to move, there's a quick plug right here.
Yeah,
Quick plug. Anybody looking to move to Florida, looking to buy investment properties there.
And if you close on a house with Danny in Florida, he'll get to take you on a helicopter ride around Orlando.
Hit us up. Hit us up. We could definitely help you with that. Anyway, so going back to what I was saying, I'm out there trying to meet new people. Tony Robbins' son's gonna be there, and a couple of other people, and that's all great. And we enjoyed that as well. But the amount of people that our goal is to meet the most amount of people in that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for what we do is referrals, right? You meet an agent, you meet somebody that you think is a nice agent. You go and look up that agent on Instagram, on Facebook. Look up their social platforms, and they're doing a lot of what you believe they should be doing that you're doing yourself. And like, all right, if I'm out here trying to dominate my market in a way. They're doing the same over there. They must be a good agent.
Yeah.
Right. So next time you got somebody moving in Tennessee or whatever, town they are. Hey, we met in Florida 2 weeks ago, and I got an outbound lead going into Tennessee. Can you help out my client? They make money. You make money. Yeah. Everybody's happy.
And just you taking that step forward and doing those things, like you're already ahead of the game, like so much, because we are living in a distraction era. Nobody is making these moves.
I'm distracted right now.
And and the ones who are, there's the success is there. But definitely got to sow so we can reap down the road. So networking, it's as simple as that. It's living by a principle called sowing and reaping. Mm-hmm. So I mean, do you guys have anything else to add to this?
I think it's pretty solid. I just think people need to keep in mind patience as well. I think I've seen a lot of people start their business and begin the social marketing and see that it only goes from 5 likes to 7 likes in the course of a month, and they've been consistent, and they're like, all right, this isn't working, and that's just simply not true. It is working, but it's especially social media wise, everything is exponential. So you start with 10 likes, and then it might take you a half a year to get to 15, but then it only takes you half a year from there to get to 100. And then from 100, it takes another half a year to 1,000. And one thing that I personally struggled with when I started, I have several social media accounts in all sorts of different facets. I do freelance marketing. I do business development on the side for a bunch of companies. And originally, I thought I was terrible at it. And I'm like, how am I here doing this? People want to pay me to do this, but I feel like I'm not doing enough. And the truth is they have more experience than me and saw that I had the potential to grow what they wanted to grow. And learning that patience has now made it so that I can grow accounts to about 10,000 followers in a week. And when I do that, people know my reputation and they reach out to me on Discord. And that's how I keep those marketing contracts coming. Right. And so for your business at home, I want you to keep in mind that it isn't instant. Not everyone becomes Mr. Beast on YouTube in the course of a year. You have to stay consistent. You have to work hard on it. But as Danny said, you will reap what you sow. Don't stop. And so with that, we're going to wrap up the Lighthouse podcast. Please don't forget to like and share our podcast. And if you would like to network with us, we are in Connecticut. We are in Florida. Danny, Alex, and I are always available to talk. We'll go grab coffee or maybe have a round of golf. Until next time.